Ever since SAO came out in 2012 and blew open the doors to the Isekai genre by popularizing the tropes you see in many today, while not being one itself, there have been countless Isekai anime to come out. Today I'm going to go through my top 8, so let me know in the comments what you thought of them, and what are your personal favorite Isekais. Number 8, The Familiar of Zero. This is a classic and one of my favorite anime from the mid-2000s. The world was interesting without getting too deep, and the characters were hilarious every chance they got. The early seasons are more comedy harem focused, but aren't afraid to throw some fun fights at you. And in the later seasons, there was great action that steadily grew in scale, and it knew when to take itself serious before eventually settling back into a lighthearted fantasy. And speaking of the harem, I will always believe Saito has one of, if not the greatest pull in anime between the crazy amount of power and influence each girl holds. And on top of everything else, this anime is a pretty rare case in that it is a complete story which also had a satisfying ending. It was way ahead of its time. Number 7, No Game, No Life. One of, if not the most notorious anime to never get a second season that to this day has people asking in the comments about when it's coming. The world was diverse and interesting in a creative use of everyday games with deadly twists always one wrong step away. It heavily emphasized the need to be clever as well as strategic with high tension climaxes to constantly keep you guessing on the edge of your seat. The characters were interesting and while not beginner friendly, used fan service for hilarious moments during downtimes. The prequel movie in particular was fantastic with a more serious tone and emotion woven into the story. And don't worry, I'm also one of those helpless fans that wishes we could get a season 2 eventually, so I'll be right there with you, fingers crossed. Number 6. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the new world. A slow burn that takes its time building up the characters' relationships and then delivering on those newfound connections. The focus for the first season is on the politics of the world and the start of the MC's journey leading the people to more prosperous times. By the second season, he must outmaneuver his enemies and defend his domain both on the battlefield and amongst the nobility. Developments in the story and characters are well thought out with satisfying payoffs at the end of each major arc. It also balances emotional moments well in a way that doesn't feel like it's pandering but helps empathize with the characters. Most of the action is fantastic as well, I just wish it was a little less PG to really highlight the danger everyone is being exposed to. Thankfully this does already have a third season announced, so I'm super excited to see what great developments come next. Number 5. Reincarnated as a Sword. This show doesn't do anything excessively flashy, but absolutely delivers on a simple and endearing adventure story. Progress is slow but steady as you learn more about the expansive world along with the MCs. Speaking of them, they're a subtly hilarious duo that works through any situation they find themselves in and first and foremost always has each other's backs. The battles have weight to them so it never feels like they're coasting through a checklist like some typical isekais. While the sidecast isn't as important compared to other shows, each one was a welcome addition, whether they were friend or foe. And by no means did I mean to imply it looks mid either. When the action kicks up, so do the visuals, with some really awesome peaks that feel more like a taste of what will inevitably come in the second season. Thankfully this has also been announced, and since this is one of the only light novels I have read ahead on, I can confirm it only gets better. Number 4. KonoSuba. A hilarious parody of the isekai and fantasy genres that still pulls off awesome fights like other more serious anime do. The characters have more depth than you'd expect, and perfect chemistry with each other shown through constant and witty banter. It fully utilizes the sidecast as well for new and on-running jokes that only get funnier the longer they go. The voice actors are the show's real strength though, delivering an already fantastic script in a spectacular fashion. They add subtlety and nuance to elevate the performance to a level most other anime never achieve. There are also multiple OVAs and each is just as good as any of the normal episodes during a season, fitting just as much quality humor and action in without being hurt by the shorter duration. This show is best enjoyed though once you've experienced at least a few other anime within the genres for the parody's sake, or the jokes might not land the same. Number 3. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. A great anime that slowly builds for some crazy payoffs whether during major battles or newly developing relationships with neighboring lands. The world building is front and center with many realms that we follow the characters through as they explore, expand, and build new connections. It not only has depth, but a wide world with many moving parts that are all given time and relevance to the story. There is an overpowered MC, but the progress was gradual and completely built up throughout the story in a way that feels satisfying when it's put on full display. Each relationship built between the characters feels organic and is repeatedly reinforced through interconnected plot points over time. The sidecast is also great themselves, giving unique twists to every scene and balancing tonal shifts as needed. And even though it's not the focus most of the time, the art and animation are impressive even during slower moments. And if that wasn't already enough, there's plenty more content such as OVAs, a spin-off, and a movie as well, and all of them are great. Number 2. Re:Zero. An incredible anime that blends typical isekai tropes and a deep psychological thriller that delivers both beautiful and adrenaline-pumping moments. Each arc serves a different purpose, whether it be self-reflection and discovery, achieving the seemingly impossible through sheer determination, or opening a heaping can of whoop-ass on much-deserving villains. And Subaru is the furthest from overpowered, so much so I would say he's the weakest character in his own show. His powers are modest and can at times be terrifying and out of his control, but he keeps pushing through. While the cast steadily grows, each character is given emotional depth through the various iterations without wasting or degrading any of it. There's plenty of exhilarating action as well, which typically takes on a large scale with fantastic choreography that builds momentum towards a satisfying conclusion. I have also heard the recently announced 4th season will recapture the sense of absolute dread the 1st season masterfully conveyed, and I'm both extremely excited and a bit scared. Number 1. Jobless Reincarnation. This is a journey of a broken man given a second chance to learn what it means to be human. As such, he starts off pretty horrible, and the anime makes no excuses in portraying this. The beauty comes from the steady attempts and self-realizations on his way to his own version of redemption. Throughout the story, it makes full use of the MC's past to not only be relevant, but a major factor that constantly shapes the outcome of events. Most isekai barely even mention the previous lives, which I think is a severely underutilized plot point in the genre. The production is outstanding as well, with incredible art and animation at a quality easily equal to some of the best. And even when the series isn't taking itself as seriously, it has plenty of hilarious and even emotional moments that keep you completely engaged. Each character in Rudius' life plays a pivotal role, regardless of the amount of time they're actually on screen, in providing irreplaceable lessons he must learn. And while being a power fantasy isn't the goal of this anime, it nonetheless provides its fair share of amazing fights with tense action. Have you seen all of these isekai? What made it to the top of your list? Let me know down in the comments, and follow for more anime news, reviews, and recommendations. I post short videos every day, and I'm starting to post longer videos like this weekly. Let me know if you have any suggestions, and thanks for watching to the end.